Welcome back to The Interval, a musical theatre podcast. This week we have come back from London to see Ride the Cyclone, and we're going to be sharing all of our thoughts, feelings, and review with you now.
Take your seats and put your seatbelts on, and don't worry when the front axle breaks. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
We'll all be fine.
Everything's fine.
So, Ride the Cyclone is a musical.
What?
With music, lyrics, and a book by Jacob Richmond and Brooke Maxwell. It was written all the way back in 2009, so it's had a very long life so far, and taken a long time, evidently, to come to the UK. So the premise for this show is it's all about a group of teenagers from Uranium City, Saskatchewan.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Smashed it.
Thank you. Who all unfortunately ride the Cyclone, which is a roller coaster, and they all meet an untimely death because the roller coaster malfunctions and they are thrown off of it. Is it like a fun fair?
Yeah, it's like
a
carnival, whatever it's called. Yeah, it's like a fun fair.
Cool. So in the carnival where the Cyclone is, also resides Karnak, who is
my baby boy.
The amazing Karnak, who is a mechanical fortune teller and also the show's narrator. So Karnak has the ability to know the exact time, location, and circumstances of one's death. But because he's been put in to, was it family fun mode?
Yeah, yeah.
He's not actually allowed to tell people that because it's a bit of a downer. So he can just like vaguely predict things and also advertise the fairground. So he does meet all these teenagers before they get on the Cyclone, and he even tells them to ride the Cyclone because of, advertising the fairground.
Dodgy Karnak, he knew what he was doing.
Yeah, but he feels guilty about this, so because of that, he decides to summon their spirits to take part in a little talent show where the winner of the show will get the chance to be resurrected and come back to life or be born again. That's sort of ambiguous into exactly what happens. And yeah, that is pretty much the setup for the entire show. The events of the show are watching the teenagers perform their songs. They all have different meanings to each of them. Oh yeah, an important factor into this show. Well, one thing is that it is only an hour and a half long with no interval, and that sort of is tied in a narrative way by the fact that in just over an hour, Karnak is going to die because a rat he is named Virgil has been chewing through his power lead.
It's a rat with a bass guitar because, and I quote, "There's nothing more bass than death." And he comes on with a rat hat and he plays a little bass riff for a bit.
It's very cool.
We love Virgil.
We love Virgil in this house. But yeah, that is the setup for Ride the Cyclone. It's as fucking weird as it sounds, but it's so good. Do we want to dive into our actual review now? Jess, this is... Can I just say it was really joyous getting to see this with you because I could feel how excited you were to see it.
There was multiple times where I was like, I'm grinning like a child right now. I'm so happy.
Really lovely. And that's something I love that about theatre. If you're that excited to see something and you've listened to something for years, getting to see people experience that live is really, really lovely.
So, for context, I think it's important. I got really into this musical, I'm going to say around 2020. And this and Be More Chill were the two musicals that I absolutely adored over COVID. And I thought, it's a shame I'm never going to get to see them. And I got to see both of them in the space of 2 months. So it was really surreal for me to get to see this. And oh my god, did it live up to expectation? Tyler, I loved this musical. I had a whale of a time. It Just even even going into the theater, they had like little party games and funny mirrors
Yeah, the
and
theatre
stuff.
was really lovely. They had
The
really
vibes.
good vibes.
And it was like the theater's so small and so perfect for Ride the Cyclone. The stage was awesome and it had a revolve.
Dear, do you know that? And choose not to
No,
tell me.
no, I did not know it had a revolve.
I had to. When it started moving for the first time, I had to physically restrain myself from like leaning over to you and nudging you.
You should have. You should have. It was so like no, because I saw the slime tutorial for this of the off Broadway production, so
Hmm.
2016's one, and it didn't have a revolve. So I had this wasn't anything like this, or at least I don't remember it having a revolve. Could be wrong. But I adored the revolve. It had all the like the Gemini. What are they called? Gemini, Aries.
Oh, the
That shit.
astrological symbols.
That's the one.
Yeah, because
That's the one.
oh, that's a cool point. Because when each character has a little introduction, Karnak says what their sign is, doesn't he?
Mhm. Yeah, and it all kind of leads into the characters.
Yeah.
I when I got on the train on the way home, first of all, this show is getting a star for starting at 7 and finishing at 8:30, so me and Tyler could get back at a reasonable time.
Yes, it is. You've got an additional star. Well done.
Well done.
So depending on the final score, well, we'll see.
It
Yeah,
might get 11.
it might.
Imagine. I I just the first thing I wrote down on the train on the way home was I have literal paragraphs for each character.
I love that.
So, for context, there's 7 characters, give or take. There's Karnak and the 6 children.
Yes.
I want to hold. There's not enough space in the world for me to hold for Karnak right
Hmm.
now. So, Karnak, as Tyler said, is the mechanical fortune teller, opens the show, does not leave above the stage, if you will, for the entire show. Remains in character as a like mechanical fortune teller the whole time. And like as time goes on, he starts glitching out a little bit more because he's starting to die on his way out. And the way he holds himself, it's a shame there's no video on this podcast because I'm doing it now. The way he holds himself is like he was just fantastic.
He was so good. I had a lot of moments where I kept glancing up at him when the lights and things
Yep.
weren't on him, and he was like he never broke character once. It was so impressive.
Even when the light was turned off.
Yeah, it was great. His delivery was really funny, and I think I said to you when we were leaving, he reminded me of Oliver in Maybe Happy Ending. In a very different way. That don't get me wrong, they are very different characters, but in the way that Darren Criss is able to act so robotically at the
Mm-hmm.
beginning of that show. Yeah, I thought the actor for Karnak did it superbly. Have you got their names? We should probably.
I do.
We should
I
probably.
do actually. I was just gonna call him out. Edward Wu is his name, and he is absolutely perfect for this role
Fantastic.
and was so fantastic.
I was very happy at the end when he came out for his bow as well.
Yeah, I gave the biggest whoop for Edward Wu. He was great. To me, he was my standout performer in the show.
Mhm.
Who was your standout performer, Tyler?
Yeah.
I have his name.
You're only asking because you know the answer.
Yes, I do. But also was my second standout performer.
Yeah, my standout of the show was Nathaniel Purnell, who played Ricky Potts, and he was fantastic. What has elevated it even more for me is finding out that the performance we went to was his first time covering the role of Ricky.
That blew my mind when you told me that.
He was so good. And then what blew my mind even more was finding out that he is one of 2 understudies in this current production. There's one female understudy who covers the female roles.
Rebecca DeLacy is her
Yeah.
name.
And there's, a male understudy who covers all the male roles. He has now covered all 4 of those tracks. Insane to me.
Mad.
I don't know how musical theatre humans human. The level of talent is just insane.
What baffles me is how I'm so interested in seeing him in the other roles because to me, he was perfect for Ricky. Like, if you listen to the soundtrack, and Tyler, I want to know if you had it as well. He sounds exactly the same as Ricky from the soundtrack.
Yeah, he does sound really, really close.
It's so scary. And his song, oh,
It was so.
this was the song I was most looking forward to because I knew Tyler would go, "What the hell is going on?"
It's so unhinged and weird. I loved it.
So space age bachelor man is what he is.
Ricky, I get that. So for slightly more context, Jess is obviously a big fan of this show and has been for quite a few years. I went into this show as blind as I could, so I knew the basic premise that I discussed at the beginning of the episode, but I didn't want to know anything else. Yeah, I didn't know how weird it got, but also I really liked getting to know the characters
Yeah.
and kind of seeing the journeys they went on. And I was drawn to Ricky from the beginning because he was just little nervous shy boy, and I found it very endearing. And I thought it was really lovely a little bit later on when he started connecting with Jane Doe. That was really sweet.
Yeah. Oh, and they just sat at the front of the stage sharing a little cupcake.
Yeah, and he said, "Oh, why don't you take this name? It's one I've been saving." Like, that's so cute.
Oh, yeah.
So cute. He smashed it.
One thing I really liked about Ricky as well, and that I kind of. It's a big controversy around the musical because in the original.
Yes, is this about the rewrites for his
Yes.
character?
Yeah, in the original, Ricky Potts was written to be a disabled man who, when he dies, is magically fixed, and it's great, and that's obviously a bit shit. Instead, they changed it eventually to being that Ricky was mute, and that it stems from various different things. Some people. It was originally a degenerative disease, but they changed it to a trauma response instead, which they did well. They changed it in this one to he dived off of a diving
Yeah,
board.
he like fell off a diving board, and then when he recovered, he was like mute.
Yeah, and they've changed the because if you listen to the soundtrack, in Ocean's song, which we'll get to in a bit, is a little bit problematic in how it handles Ricky.
Yes.
They changed the lyrics to I can't even remember. Wait. Are we really gonna save the guy who plays the tambourine in a choir?
Oh, is that the lyrics they do
Yes.
instead of the yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. I love that change, and I think it actually made the show so much better with
it.
this change.
Also, another. This isn't related to changes or anything, but I've just remembered it. I think my favorite line of dialogue was after Ricky's song, where is it Misha or Mishka?
I go Misha, but it's because it's Ukrainian. I might be butchering it. So, whichever you would like.
I want to talk about him properly because he's great. But my favorite line of dialogue was after Ricky's song, where he goes like, "You're great, Space Jesus," or something to that effect.
Oh yeah, he called after his space age bachelor man. He's like, "Yeah, you rock, Space Jesus."
Yeah, Mishka's just he's just down for everything. I love him. He's so supportive to everyone.
Honestly,
just like
he's the best.
he's just like, I love your vibe. You're great, Space Jesus.
But his and I'm glad that you mentioned that because I really want to get into Misha. He was first of all the actor who is but oh hey mate. Okay. Okay. Right. The actor who I'm so sorry is Bartek Krzyzewski. We're gonna go with. I'm so sorry again. I'm not very good at it. He was amazing, like so good
So
at
good.
this. He was because he does he does a really stupid rap at the beginning.
I
right?
like his stupid rap, and I like
It's so
and
funny.
I really like how Ricky accompanies him by singing about how robots are cool.
Robots are awesome. My favourite thing about Misha is that he has two songs as opposed to everyone else. Ocean has a song and a half, but that's Ocean.
Yeah, I love the I love the contrast between the two songs because he sings them right after, like one after the other.
Yeah. And like he has his first song, which is called This Song Is Awesome, where he's a rapper and he's a cool dude singing about all the stuff that he doesn't do because the people that are looking after him keep him locked in the basement and it's horrible. And then you have Talia, which is based off of spoilers. This one is a spoiler. It's based off of his fiance, Talia, who he has never met and is online. So obviously it's left up to other people to know whether she is real or not. And they are so contrasting. It is absolutely fantastic. And then at the after that, he has like a full crying scene.
Yeah, that was sad.
Oh. There's a part that I thought was really interesting in the um Broadway or the off Broadway version, at least in the tutorial that I saw. They Karnak does something really interesting with Misha, and he says to Misha, "Would you like to know if Talia is real or not?" Because he has
Oh,
the answers, and Misha says no. He doesn't want to know because
I mean,
he's not coming back, and he'd rather not know that.
valid.
And they didn't do that in this one, and I don't mind it, but I think it would have been a massive punch if Karnak would have asked them. Next character that I really want to talk about is Noel. I was gonna say Noel Gruber. That's not his name. His name's just Noel.
It is Gruber.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was. It just sounded a bit diehard to me, so I was losing it.
No, because when Karnak introduces them all, he does their full names.
Oh, he does. Noel, who is played by Damon Gould. I love him. Did you? My first question: did you see that coming? Did you see him going into full women's clothing and performing as a hooker from Paris?
I mean, how could you?
How could you not? How could you not? I knew what was about to happen because I saw the rip-off trousers that he had on and I went, I see you.
Uh,
And I know what you've got under there. You took your shoes off and I could see I see you. I know what you're doing.
see, I didn't.
I loved it. Honestly, I was living for that scene.
It was really good. I really liked Noel's friendship with Mishka that developed kind of
They had
as
a
the
little
show went on.
kiss.
It's cute.
It was very cute. His song it's a very popular one in on like TikTok and stuff. It's about him being a prostitute from post-war France and wanting to basically live through like he wanted to feel love and he wanted to have his heart broken and do all like have all the experiences of that and he never got to and that's so sad when he says that like I've never kissed somebody, I've never done any of that. They all have like these really funny songs and then they have the moments after it that are just really upsetting.
Can we talk about someone? Can we talk about the Rachel Berry of Ride the Cyclone, please?
Oh my god. So before we say who this is, can you tell me or tell the people the message that you sent me this morning that it actually made me cackle.
Right, so I was listening to the soundtrack, which I will listen to copious amounts because it is extremely good. Um, I hope we get a UK soundtrack though.
I'd love that. I was thinking that and I have there's more of a conversation I want to have about that later
Oh,
if I remember.
absolutely. Yeah. So, Ocean's song, by the way, absolute bop. Like one of my favorite
Oh,
songs.
what the world
It is
needs.
so good, so good, so fun. Um, I had this on repeat a few times because it's just a good time. And then I had a realization that struck me. Ocean is just Rachel Berry if Rachel had had actual character development.
It actually made me cackle. Like it's so true. It's so true. She's so funny though. I love her. I hate her at the beginning. She's a bitch. But we love Ocean, and her song is
Her
just.
song's great, and I really like how I might be remembering it wrong, so you just tell me if I'm remembering it wrong. But
Mhm.
when, because she is the first to perform, because of course she is, because
Yep.
Ocean is better than everyone. That's literally what her song is as well. It's
Yep.
talking about how everyone, including her best friend, are not going to amount to anything.
Mhm. That her best friend's greatest achievement is being an organ
Yeah,
donor,
it's
which is the most brutal
awful.
insult I've ever heard in my life.
But as she's singing, the rest of the cast like join in on the choreography, and when it starts, isn't it like almost like their bodies are doing it without them wanting to?
Yeah, they're kind of being forced into doing it by
Yeah,
Karnak.
I've really liked that aspect of this song, and the choreography, like, and the staging, like the way they staged this in the West End. It's I liked how simple but effective it was. Like the bit towards the build up at the end where she's singing about like no one needs another zero, and they've got the cards with the zeros on, and they turn them around and it
Yeah.
says ocean. Like
Yeah.
like like far from like mind blowing staging, but I just thought it was really neat. I enjoyed it a lot.
As soon as like we got into the theater and I saw the stage, I was like, "Oh, this is going to be the best thing I've ever seen in my life." Because it was just so clever the way they did it. All they had was two boxes coming into stage and two boxes on the left and right of stage. And they just kept pulling out props and handing each other things with their little notepads with the zero.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. But Ocean definitely has the strongest arc
Mm.
of the show, I would say, because so at the beginning, oh wait, if you haven't figured this out by now, if you don't want any spoilers, stop listening.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, at the beginning, Karnak tells the teenagers that whoever gets the unanimous vote by the entire group, that's the person who will come back to
Mhm.
life. And then at the end of the show, Karnak says, "Actually, I've changed my mind. Ocean, you get the final
Yeah.
vote."
Yeah.
And she realizes that actually she shouldn't be the one to, you know, get a second chance at life because it took dying for her to realize how great the other kids in the choir
Mhm.
were, and they all deserve chances as well. And she's ultimately the one who makes the final decision
Yeah.
about who gets resurrected. Should we talk about that person?
We can. First of all, I just want to give a shout out to Bailey Carson, who plays Ocean, who is so good at this song. And again, she sounds exactly the same as the original.
So good.
Like, outstanding the whole time. But yes, can we please talk about Grace Galloway, who plays Jane Doe?
Yes, I would like to jump straight in and say that just before the lights went down, Jess did lean over to me and say that, like, just so you know, this isn't like a horror musical.
Yes, because what happens right at the beginning, straight after I told you that?
A headless girl comes on stage pushing a pram and singing a little song. It's really cool.
She stands there and she looks like a mannequin and then she starts walking and it was a bit freaky. I'm not
But
gonna
it's a
lie.
little bit spooky. It's really cool though.
Very cool. But that's not the only bit of magical stuff we get though, is it?
No, but do we want to go into that now, or do we want to give more
You're right.
context to
We're not gonna go into it
Jane
now. We're
Doe?
gonna go into it when we talk about proper big boy spoilers.
So Jane Doe is another of the teenagers in the choir who has died from riding the cyclone. But she doesn't know who she is because when she died, she was decapitated. So her head and her body are separated, and no one can find her head. So she is a headless body. And because of this, when her spirit is resurrected, she doesn't know who she is. She can't remember anything about herself. And the really depressing part is no one can identify her like back in like the living
Hmm.
world either. So she hasn't been like claimed by parents or anything.
And to quote it, Father Marcus died of a heart attack 7 hours later. Which, you know what? Valid. I'd have done the same.
Yeah. That poor
Oh my
man.
god.
Yeah, so Jane Doe's whole character is like she literally doesn't know who she is. She doesn't know what sort of life she lived. She doesn't know who she was as a person. And while all of the other teenagers' songs are about how great they are if you're Ocean, or how you go and save sexy cat ladies if you're Ricky, or how you want to be a prostitute
In
in
post-war France.
Thank You, or your online girlfriend.
Yep.
Jane Doe's song, it's so much sadder because it's not about her or her hopes and her dreams or anything, because it can't be, because she doesn't know anything.
Yep.
So it's literally a song about how it feels to not know who you are.
Which I imagine is really reminiscent for a lot of people as is. About not knowing who you are and not being able to find answers for that.
Yeah. It's definitely like the Ballad of Jane Doe is the name of the song.
Mhm.
It's definitely like the show stopping number in the show, isn't it? I didn't even say so because she doesn't have a head. She's not headless.
No.
She's not technically headless for the whole show. So she wears like an oversized like porcelain Barbie doll head
Yeah. Creepy.
in place of a human head, because she does not have one.
Which is, and the way that the actress does it, so this is still Grace Galloway, the way that she does it is it's like the head doesn't fit. She's kind of constantly moving it about. She was fantastic. At
Yeah.
any point on stage, she had the same look and the same like wobbling her head. But
I thought it was so effective because I felt like I wanted to be scared of
yeah,
her, because like the other teenagers were, but I also like didn't want to be scared of her because I felt so bad for
yeah,
her.
it was. But that's perfect. That's exactly what you need.
Yeah,
I
she was
I
fantastic.
really want to talk about the magic trick.
Do
So
it.
in the in the off Broadway version, the coolest thing happens. When she's singing the Ballad of Jane Doe, when she does and I'm asking why, Lord, that bit,
By the way, she's hitting like some
she,
operatic
oh,
notes
God, yeah.
in this
Yeah, yeah.
song.
And when she sings that part, that sounds really good on the soundtrack. Sounds even better when she's flipping upside down, like she is in the off Broadway version. That's crazy
Mhm.
situations. Couldn't really do that in this one. So what they did instead is the rest of the cast bring on a coffin, right? Lean
Yeah.
it up. She gets in, and then her head is on top of the coffin, and her body is inside, like moving around. I mean, it's not hard to figure out how it's done, but it was so effective.
It was
I was
so.
genuinely fangirling. I thought I was going to fall off the railing. I was being careful to not lean forward too much because I was loving how they did that. And I just love how they mix her with magic and keeping it to this like unrealistic and almost, like you said, creepy but also endearing design. And
Yeah.
yeah, the whole time she's doing a full magic trick singing perfect operatic notes with a voice that is like haunting but beautiful at the same time.
Yeah. It's so
I
good.
love her.
While you were talking about not trying to fall off the railing, you've reminded me of, when someone fell. No, you've you've you just reminded me of like, why did like 6 different people come in late at
Oh
different
my god,
interims?
I was
It's
losing my
fucking annoying.
mind.
Also, there was a person in the row behind us who literally, like, the lights hadn't gone down, but you could tell the show was literally about to start in like 30 seconds. They got up to go to the toilet or something, and the usher was up so fast, like,
No.
you can't leave now until the show ends.
Like,
For God's sake,
the
people.
only justifying that I thought was that this show starts at 7 and most shows start at 7:30. So people might have got confused. But at that point you've missed most of the show, just leave it. Oh, yeah, that annoyed me a lot.
Also, when the last person came in, I was so annoyed at this point. I didn't even move
I
my
saw.
bag, and she just
I
tripped
saw it and I
over
was
it.
loving it.
I didn't pick it up until she tripped.
Sodger.
I was like, well, that's what happens when you walk in 40 minutes into a fucking
Crazy
show.
behaviour. So, the final actress, the final performer is Constance, otherwise, well, played by Robin Gilbertson, she is
Yeah.
the kind of kind, nice, and sweet girl.
She is the nicest girl in town.
She is, not to be confused with the song Nicest Girl in Town from Hairspray.
Hairspray. Nicest kids in town.
Close enough. So, yeah, she's Ocean's best friend, we'll go with. Not sure if it's really a friendship there.
hmm
She, hot take, I don't like Sugar Cloud. I don't like the song that she sings. I find it a bit boring, especially for the last song.
Oh, do you not?
Yeah.
I quite liked it, but I thought she was doing some really good belty
Oh
notes.
god, she's so talented. All of the cast was so talented. Yeah, I just don't. I find it like you've obviously, like we've said, you've got Ricky's singing about cats and things. Noel is singing about being a French prostitute. Ocean is literally putting everybody down. Jane Doe's got a beautiful, technically lament, but a ballad, if we will. And Misha's doing a rap and having a heartbreaking moment. She's just singing about sweets. I know it's more than that, but I don't know.
Yeah, but I like before this song is like the big realization she has is like it basically takes dying for her to realize, the little things in life were
Mm.
really good.
And how beautiful just being in her little town was.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking in its own sense.
But I get what you mean. I feel like in terms of like listening to the soundtrack, that's probably one of the songs that I couldn't do like over and over and
Yeah,
over.
yeah, good. I'm the same. You know what song I could do over and over and over? And now the problem is, I loved that song. It's in my. The song I'm about to mention is in my quote unquote banging musical tunes playlist. I tried to listen to it today and couldn't because I got really emotional. Because
Oh
I've seen it.
no.
It's not a game, it's just a ride. The last song. I love that
So
song. I
good.
love it.
Yeah.
And it made me a bit emotional now because it's like, oh my god, I've seen this. And I could see it in my head. I could see the person that
Yeah,
survived and how it impacted them and things like that.
yeah, and yeah, I love it at the end when they're just sitting or holding hands
Oh my god,
and
and
they're
they're so
spinning around.
scared because they don't know what's happening and then they just. Oh! I love it. It's actually a really emotional musical.
It is. I think it's a really triumphant thing that I wanna make sure I get his name right. Bear with me. It's Jacob something. There you go, Jacob Richmond. I think it's a really triumphant thing that he's managed to make a musical about something so heavy that was completely inspired by his own bouts of
Hmm.
grief throughout his life. Which, I think grief on its own is so difficult to deal with, but to be able to channel that into something creative, especially to this level, I think is
It
insane.
is insane. Do you want to know something that is also insane that I've just literally just this minute realised?
Sure.
The world premiere cast recording of Ride the Cyclone, Karnak is played by Jacob Richmond.
Oh, I love that.
That's the guy who wrote it. That's sick. I love that. So when you hear him,
So
that's
cool.
that's the writer, the OG. Oh, that's so cool. So I think we might need to get into some spoilers now.
I mean, we haven't been doing that for the past
Well, like
40
the
minutes.
spoiler, the big spoiler.
Yes, 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 we can do that.
So if you have any interest in listening to or watching Ride the Cyclone, because it does not reveal it in the soundtrack,
Watch it and listen to it, is what I will say.
I would highly recommend. As we've said, slime tutorials are really easy to find here.
Or,
Or
wait a little bit and we'll get into it later, but,
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I first of all, I want to know, who would you have saved? It can be the same person who was saved, but who would you have saved?
the thing is that's really difficult to answer because
Isn't it?
I feel like the final reveal of who they save. I don't feel like it's particularly shocking or surprising because
No,
I sort of I figured it out about halfway through, I want to say.
I think that's fair.
I don't know. I like them all. It makes me sad to think they're just spinning around in that void.
Mm,
But at least they're all friends.
yeah, yeah. But if you had to pick, again, it can be the same one that actually did did get saved. But if you had to pick, I can help you by giving my answer first.
You can give your answer first.
I'd save Noel. Noel Griever.
Okay.
So my reasoning for this, Ocean, she doesn't deserve it. Constance, I don't think she deserves it either. I think she's fine as is. She's learned her lesson. She's cool. Misha, he'd be going back to a really shit life. Ricky, I really like Ricky, but I also feel like that would really mess with my mind if I died, had all of this massive part where I could finally like speak and express myself in that way, and then I couldn't. That would really mess me up.
Hmm.
Although maybe his creativity would be a lot more easily put on the page. I don't know. Whereas Noel, he just wants to love someone, and he never got that, and I think he could, and he was working to like save up. He was working in Taco Bell to save up to move, and he had a life. And I think it would have been nice. And also, Misha's girlfriend was definitely not real, and it would have shattered him. So I don't want him to go through that.
Valid.
Yeah. What? Who would yours be?
I don't know. I don't have a better answer than what you just said.
I mean, that's fair. That's fine. You don't have to have an answer.
I don't know if I could pick who I would save because like they weren't meant to be saved.
Would you save Karnak?
I would say Virgil because Virgil also dies.
That's true. We'll save Virgil, the bass playing rat.
Anyway, should we talk about the big spoiler?
Yes. I'll let you reveal who got saved in the end.
So in the end, Ocean makes the decision that because the five of them have all had lives and they can remember it and they've sort of grown from reflecting on their experiences, that Jane Doe should be saved because she effectively doesn't have a life because she doesn't remember. So she is chosen to be, and they all do unanimously agree. At the end, it's really cute, and she goes back to the other side, and there's a really cool like projection that played on the curtain of like at first it was just the sounds of like a baby crying when it's born,
Mhm.
but then it's like you get like footage flickering of like a toddler and a child and like the life of a person.
Well, the life of her, the life of Penny Lamb, which is her real name.
Yes, a fun fact. So that character is actually in Jacob's first musical, which is a show called Legoland, also set in Uranium City.
Not Legoland, as in the theme
No,
park in
no,
in England.
no. But yeah, she's a character from his like first show. So Ride the Cyclone was like meant to be like a loose sequel, and I think that he's meant to be like it's meant to be like a trilogy, but I don't know. I have no idea if like the third show is like exists yet or it's still just
I
being
don't
developed.
know.
But
That would be cool.
yeah, I really liked that final decision.
I think it's nice as well because even though it is kind of predictable, it doesn't stop it from being this really heartwarming moment.
No, it's really sweet, especially I just like that Ocean's reasoning is like, we all got to live and we remember the lives we lived. And
Mhm.
she doesn't, so she deserves to go back and either create a new life as a new person or remember the life that she had.
Yeah.
It's really nice, and the bit at the end, like the very end actually, where she comes out without the head on.
Yeah, she takes her makeup off basically.
Yeah, and
She comes out as herself.
yeah, and she's singing. It's basically like a reprise of the very first piece of music you hear, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool and quite striking as an image.
It's it was just so heartwarming, and it really like I don't know. It just ended the musical perfectly.
If you can't tell, I've gone from someone who was like, I was excited to see this because I knew how excited you were to see it, and I knew,
Mm.
it's obviously gonna be good if you're that excited. But I've gone from someone who was like, oh, this will be cool to like, I can feel myself like I'm like on like the top of the roller coaster, and
Yeah,
I'm about to like drop down and just fully like deep dive into it.
I love that.
Basically, I'm really excited to hopefully see this again one day, like being able to appreciate it as more of a fan. I think next time.
Mm. So that's actually leading me on to a good question. First of all, would you want this to come to the West End or not?
I think I'd want it to come to a West End in a small theatre.
See, this is my concern because I was trying to think on the train back what theatre we, because I think this the Southwark Playhouse, it was the Elephant one, so I want to say it probably fit like 200.
Yeah, something like
Um, oh, 280 up to 310, but it was definitely not full. Like as in there weren't that many seats. It was full. It's actually sold out completely now. Like they even put
that. Yeah,
an extra matinee in because it was sold out.
yeah.
But I was worrying because I don't think you'd want a theatre that has a stage any bigger than the one it has there, or a seating plan any bigger than it has there, because it needs to be this intimate thing. You wouldn't have it at like the Wyndham; it would be too much.
No, I. It's tricky, isn't it? Because I want it to continue to have life over here, but I completely agree. I don't think it would. I think it would deserve to fill a big theatre, but I don't think that's where it belongs.
Yeah,
So I don't know unless they take it to a different off West End venue, like somewhere like the Other Palace, which is which is
that would be cool.
like Heather's second home.
Yeah, yeah,
but
they'd
like
have to pry it from Heather's
but like
hands.
they typically pick up shows for slightly longer residencies, so I think it'd be really cool if it maybe transferred
It
over
has the
to
right
that
size
theatre.
stage as well,
Yeah,
and it's really near Victoria, so that works because that's the train station we need.
yeah. I mean, again, that's still technically a off West End venue, but it's more. It feels like a slightly more known
Mm.
venue, and it's a little bit more centralized,
Yeah, I completely agree.
and it's a bit bigger without again being too big. Was this like everything you wanted from this particular show?
That's a really good question. Yes. Yeah, it was. It was everything I expected it to be, but just done with probably one of the most talented casts I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, slightly onto the same point. This is just bolstering my belief that shows with smaller principal casts are like top tier shows.
Mhm. Mhm. So, what are your final thoughts?
I'm just so glad I saw this. It's so weird and wonderful, and it made me very, very happy. Yeah, I hope this show gets more of a life because I think everyone should be able to ride the cyclone. It was great if you want a weird night at the theatre, go and see this.
It's too
I,
late. You should have booked.
oh yeah, yeah. Hope hope it will come back in some capacity.
Mhm.
I feel like it will. I mean, it's the fact that this is just show that, as I said at the beginning, it was written in 2009. It's taken a long time to come over here. It's clearly a show with like a massive fan base behind it already, evident not only by yourself, Jess, but also the person who was sitting on the other side of me, who was literally sobbing for the entire show. Like, bless them.
I don't
They
blame
spent
her.
so much time like trying to like contain themselves.
Aww.
Um, yeah, I and obviously the show sold out run does it a lot of justice as
Mhm.
well. I hope it stays in the UK somehow because I think it deserves to.
Yeah.
And I hope we get some part of it preserved. I hope they're able to do a cast recording. Hopefully,
This was one of the only times that I sat there and thought, I wish that I could record this because I was just desperate to when in the time between it took us to record this and watch it, which was a day and a bit. I was desperate to rewatch this and I wish I could. This is the kind of one I come back to again and again.
yeah. Would you? Would you like to talk about your final thoughts?
Yeah. So, Ride the Cyclone is just one of the most life affirming musicals that is coupled with extremely wild and crazy subject matter, and it does it flawlessly. The cast were outstanding, the staging was just perfect, and every single thing that happened on that stage felt like it was meant to be there, which I'm hoping makes sense. It's just like a wacky, clever, and outstanding ride from start to finish that, despite the rather gruesome end, I would get on the Cyclone whenever possible. And I pray that it comes back in some capacity so I can relive this again and again. And I'm so glad I got to see it live. Also, again, shout out to Karnak because I genuinely think you're the best. You were the standout for this. So, what are we thinking out of 10? No
Would
pressure.
you like
No pressure, but I don't think we've given a 10 out of 10 before.
this has to be a unanimous vote in keeping with the show.
In keeping with the show.
I wouldn't have changed anything. I couldn't think of anything that would have kind of made it a better viewing experience.
So, unanimously a 10 then.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Well, an 11 for finishing by before 9 o'clock.
Yeah, you know what? Oh, I'm so glad we saw this show, Tyler.
I'm very glad. This is just the cool thing about theatre, and also this podcast.
Mhm. We just get to see weird and wacky things.
Yeah.
And to kind of end this, I would highly recommend you listen to the soundtrack. If you've listened to this whole thing, first of all, thank you. Second of all, listen to the soundtrack. Watch a slime tutorial of it if you want to, because it's not available to see in person by the time, unless you can get returns. Watch the video and watch the documentary on it. It is so fascinating.
I've watched half of it now. I've watched half of it. I'm gonna finish watching the rest of it later.
It's so fascinating. It's so good. Consume this musical like there's no tomorrow, and the more that people consume it, the more likely it will be that it will come back to London.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're doing next week. We might be dead, so might be me and Tyler performing our own renditions of songs to try and stay alive.
Yeah.
So
you never know what's gonna happen.
yeah, in the meantime, be a prostitute in post-war France.
And save sexy cat people if you so desire.
And don't come into a theatre 40 minutes late.